Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Assassin's Creed Chronicles India. I played it on the Xbox One. It's also available on the PC and PS4. ACC India is like ACC China in that it's a side-scrolling 2.5D stealth far more than action game. As far as the story goes, you play as Arbaaz, a young assassin who recently stole a diamond from the Templars and they want it back. You can kinda guess if the Templars had it and they want it back, it's probably not really a diamond. ACC India is all about precursor artifacts. There's none of the future story. It's really just an assassin who's trying to gather some precursor artifacts. The story is fairly weak, and let's face it, it's not the main draw for this game. It's perfectly serviceable for taking you from mission to mission. The sound design is pretty good. It's not hyper-realistic, but it does well enough. It works for what the game is, which is a little bit more of an arcadey style game, so slightly less realistic sounds work. The voiceover work is surprisingly better than the rest of the sound design. It felt like the actors were actually putting some real effort into the game. As for gameplay mechanics and controls, the game is 2.5D, so it's that pseudo 3D environment. Like I said earlier, this game is far more stealth than action. You really do need to sneak around, because if you try and get into it with the guards, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. Each level is broken down into sections. You're scored on those sections, and you get a total score at the end of each level, which is how you get better skills. And like I said, it really does focus on stealth. You get the highest score from scoring Shadow, which is not interacting with any of the enemies, not taking them down, not killing them, just sneaking past them without getting spotted. Then the middle range type score is Silencer, which you get from sneaking around, not getting spotted, and taking down the enemies without killing them. Then there's the Assassin scoring, which is sneaking around, not being seen, and killing guards. And like I said, straight up combat not advised for your score or in general. For Shadow, Silencer, or Assassin, you can get a gold, silver, or bronze rating for each section. The more gold you get, the better. And like I said, being a Shadow scores more points than being a Silencer. Which I gotta say is back-asswards, because you're an assassin and you're being penalized for assassinating people. There are also missions that you have to get through as quickly as you can, and those are obviously scored on your time. As for the controls, I felt like they worked pretty well. They were responsive, and they did what I needed them to when I needed them to do so. I did feel that the game was a little pissy during some of the speed levels, simply because you're trying to move as fast as you can, so you may jump just a little too early and you'll land in the wrong place, or you won't be high enough to jump over a trap. Crap like that. While some of that got annoying, it never pissed me off and made me want to throw a controller at a wall or anything, so that's a good thing. As for the graphics, like I said, 2.5D, and quite frankly, the game looks pretty good for what it is. It's not going to be hyper-realistic. It does have a pretty interesting art style, so did Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. This has a different art style, though. So while the graphics weren't lifelike, the art style was really cool, and you could really see the unique art style in the cutscenes, kind of like you did in ACC China. I don't know how to describe the artwork. I did like it. It looked hand-drawn, not computer-generated necessarily. It was pretty cool looking, and I liked the way they highlighted certain things during the still frames. To wrap this up, this game is worth buying if you're a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. The game is really cheap, but it's just not worth buying for folks who aren't fans of Assassin's Creed, and it's not a great jumping in point into the story. But if you like Assassin's Creed, it's worth adding for its price tag. So in the comments below, why don't you tell me what game franchise you'd like to see reimagined as a 2.5D side-scroller. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.